Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Good morning, everybody, and cheers. This is the Morning Market Mimosa, part of the Investing Podcast. Today is Monday, June 13th, 2016, and it's a really important day for us here at Tusk Media and Narwhal Capital Management because we are now completely live with the Investing Podcast. That means two things. Number one, you can find us just about everywhere. If you're looking for video, we're now on iTunes. We actually have a top 10 investing video podcast. Go figure, there's more than 10 of them. We're on YouTube. If you want to see our full archive of videos we've been doing on this and sharing with the public, you can check it out there. Audio-wise, iTunes is the best place to find us. You can hit subscribe. You'll hear everything we put out immediately. Within about 10 minutes of us recording it, you can have it on your phone, on your iPad, on your desktop, whatever. Hit subscribe, leave a 5-star review. If you don't have an Apple product, you can obviously find us on Spreaker.com. You can find us on Stitcher. You can supposedly find us on the Android Google Play Store, but I don't really know how that works, so I'm not going to be real informative on that step. So number one, we're live in that you can find us everywhere. Number two, we're live in that we're sharing this thing everywhere. We've actually held back on sharing this to our most important listeners, our clients, because we wanted to work out some of the technical kinks, make sure that we were performing at the best level we can, at least for now, before we shared it. So the email blast is going out today to all our clients. So clients of Narwhal Capital Management, welcome. We're really glad you are here. We hope that this is better than it was a few weeks ago when we first started this venture. So we're glad you're here. Everybody, welcome. We're live. Follow us on Twitter at Tusk Media LLC. We've even got a new email address up here if you want to interact directly with the show. Don't worry, if you're a compliance officer, that filters to my Narwhal email. So it's going to be on the up and up, but you can email us theinvestingpodcast@gmail.com. Easy enough. Theinvestingpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's jump in a little bit to these markets, which are not looking great on a Monday morning, especially disappointing given the downside that we saw on Friday. But Dow futures down about 1/3%. S&P futures down right around the same amount, about 1/3%. NASDAQ futures down close to 0.5%. On the other side, we do have gold that's up quite a bit, up 89 basis points. And then also on the downside, oil is now down more than 1%. We talked about oil and we celebrated it breaking through the $50 per barrel mark not long ago. It's now down about 3% from that mark. It's at about $48.50. What are the big stories that are really leading to this? Basically a bunch of terms of uncertainty. And I don't want to go into too much detail on specific outcomes of these issues because the reality is it's the general uncertainty that's weighing on the market as a whole. Number one, you've got fear of a Brexit. If the British economy leaves the European Union, there's going to be uncertainty there. That's a huge economy leaving a huge economic system. Obviously, there's uncertainty regarding that. So there's going to be a vote coming up in the next week. We'll talk more about that over the course of the week, but there's uncertainty there. Additionally, you have huge economies that are having central bank meetings. We've talked a lot about the Federal Reserve and a potential interest rate hike in June. We don't think that's going to necessarily happen, but there's uncertainty, and there's uncertainty as to whether we might get surprised and actually see that rate hike, but there's also uncertainty as to what will be said about the economy. Everybody was kind of blown away by an unbelievably disappointing set of May employment numbers. We don't want to be shocked by what's said by the Federal Reserve coming up this week and throughout the month. Also, another central bank that has meetings going on is Japan. So obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty with some really, really large economies, but I think it's important right now that we keep some perspective on this stuff. Not long ago, about 10 to 14 days ago, we were looking at the S&P 500 threatening an all-time high. Obviously, that seems to have pulled back a little bit, but we haven't seen a crash over the last 2 weeks. We're not in panic mode. Further, we're not seeing definitive signs justifying an unbelievable sell-off. Instead, we are seeing uncertainty. And to be honest with you, we'll probably see some uncertainty all the way through the November election. The big headline risk of a Trump or of a Hillary Clinton being in the White House, those are going to be there. And we're going to continue to have uncertainty, especially given the light of events like we saw on Saturday night into Sunday morning in Orlando. So keep an eye on that. Keep some perspective on things. Stay disciplined in your investing. Stay diversified. Keep an eye on those things. That's the important here. When you have uncertainty, focus on perspective and take a step back. One stock to keep an eye on is Apple. They do have their developers conference today. Keep an eye on is what they release. Is there anything that's really a huge step forward, or is it more of the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing? So keep an eye on Apple. We'll report more on them later in the day. We'll check back around lunchtime with our stock market power lunch, and we'll be back at the end of the day with investing happy hour. And you get a bonus episode tonight, a long form interview between myself and the founder of Narwhal, Matt Burton. So make sure you hit subscribe, check us out. We'll be back soon. Thanks.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.